It is 12 noon. Welcome back into Three Man Front. Each and every week, we have an opportunity to listen to the weekly press conferences for both Kalen DeBoer and Hugh Freeze. First up, Kalen DeBoer live in Tuscaloosa.
Just proud of the team and the competitiveness we showed on Saturday. Definitely did not start fast and up to our liking there, but we never really flinched. And our guys on the sideline, what the energy was there and also in the locker room at halftime, just really showed that our guys are understanding the fight that it takes each and every week in a SEC game for 4 quarters to get a win. And so got a couple takeaways that were key. Time of possession, something that
we will try to get back to Tuscaloosa momentarily. A little bit of an issue with the Kalen DeBoer feed from Tuscaloosa, but you heard his opening statement talking about how exciting the fans were there in Tuscaloosa as the Alabama Crimson Tide comes out with the big win against the Vanderbilt Commodores, 30-14. You had a situation where Ty Simpson, once again, proving as one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the country. He went for 340 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Alabama, matter of fact, now they are number 5 nationally in passing offense. Jam Miller, great afternoon, 136 on the ground for touchdown minutes, where he gained 58 yards, including a 20-yard touchdown to seal the win there against Vanderbilt. It is the first time in the last 15 games that a Bama running back has had a 100-yard game. The Tide on the afternoon, they rushed for 146, 22 yards a game, so they were able to improve on that stat line. And they had 70 yards in the first quarter. Alabama did, rushing the football. So it was interesting, Landrum, how they bookend the first quarter and then the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and if Alabama can take this moving, missing piece when we looked at that offense, but man, you get Jam Miller going for $120, $130, being able to extend drives and give the defense something. That is a recipe for more wins down the road.
All right, speaking about down the road, let's head down the road. Let's go back to Tuscaloosa.
just proud of the team and the competitiveness we showed on Saturday. Definitely did not start fast and up to our liking there, but we never really flinched. And I think just the spirit of our guys on the sideline, what the energy was there and also in the locker room at halftime, just really showed that our guys are understanding the fight that it takes each and every week in a SEC game for 4 quarters to get a win. And so got a couple takeaways that were key. Time of possession certainly was a positive. Will be again this week against Missouri, something that we took advantage of, that we did better, but it's a hard reset this week going into Missouri. I think our guys, understood that, and Sunday to where we got to move forward. We got a very good football team and on the road, so we just got to be ready to get ready to roll tomorrow. I think our, now into that, rinse and repeat kind of mode, each and every week. Understand, get better at the process, because again, those things that happen, our lack of execution early in the game, for a reason. Some of it's your opponent, but some of it. So, again, Missouri posed a lot of problems for you, just what they do physically. The run, they're dominant. Time possession, put a possessions you're probably going to get. So Coach Drinkwitz has done a great job in here with the wins, but also just we're going to be looking forward to a great challenge on Saturday.
Thanks, Coach. Yeah, Ty was using words like unacceptable and ridiculous to talk about things that he did in the game.
Yeah, I don't think there's a reason to be complacent yet, because we've been, still early in the season. That's the way we talk in the program, just with it ain't good enough. Like there's so much area and you're working on things and you want to the ways that there was a lot of stuff that we can do better, and I think Ty recognized that. He felt that you can, supposed to look like, and he understands, and he's past the point now where he's got to try to prove to people that he can do it. He's done it. His leadership with our team and helping us be the best version that we.
You're in the middle of a 4-game stretch against ranked teams. He's coming off a bye, so are some of the other teams. Just, have you ever been part of a stretch like this before, and kind of how do you have to approach this with your team?
Yeah. Back in whatever month in the spring, the schedule comes out, and you're like, okay, that's going to be a grind. But you don't even look at it that way. You look at game, and that's what we did against Georgia, and that's what we did against Vanderbilt, and now that's what we got to do against Missouri. You focus on only that game, and when you do it, all of a sudden you find yourself going through the month, and you're like, okay, like we've gotten better, and okay, we got the win, and again, just focusing on the process, focusing on everything we're doing. Just competing at the highest level. When you just focus on those things that you can control, the schedule, you work through it one by one, and you end up, usually, if you got the talent and you got the people and you catch a break here and there, you end up on the right side of it.
Let's go to Charlie on the right side. Yeah, Coach Grubb actually said that the red zone execution was poor on Saturday. What did you just see in that area of the field?
I mean, it's different things, right? We talk about Ty, and a lot of attention always goes to the quarterback, and he even acknowledged, there's things he knows he can do better there. So it's just, to me, it's just execution as a whole. It's understanding the situation you're in. What's going to hurt us is going to be negative plays. Being behind the chains is emphasized even more as you move closer to the red zone and in the red zone. And so it's going to hurt you out in the middle of the field when you're behind the chains, but as that space continues to shrink, and the defense is going to throw some more things at you because they're a little more desperate too, and have their way of going about things. You got to execute, you got to adjust as you move the ball into that area. We got caught behind the chains. We ended up with some plays that weren't executed, and didn't get the yards we need to put ourselves in good, favorable down and distances.
Go to Chase on the far left.
Coach Grubb mentioned that Jaden Roberts will probably see some action this week. He didn't against Vanderbilt. Just to be clear, was he dinged up, or is it more a situation where y'all are trying to get looks from other guys? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's competitive right now at those positions. It's more than just his. And guys are competing in practice, and that's, to me, a big part, of what you got to do. And the comeback for him has been progressing, and I think that's why you probably feel the vibe from Coach Grubb and the words he said. But he's got to just keep doing it, and that's what we ask of every guy, some of these guys have gotten chances to get on the football field and taken advantage of it, and that's made it harder for others who maybe have had roles that were assumed. But it's competitive, and Jaden, love Jaden. What a great kid, and got a lot of potential, and so just he's going to keep working.
We've got a couple more questions on the left side of the room here. Let's start with Colin, then go to Emily Grace.
Hey, Kalen. How would you assess Connor Talty's performance, I guess, over the first 5 weeks, but specifically against Vanderbilt?
Yeah, disappointed in that first kick, but really you think about putting yourself in his shoes, and you miss that first one, and I think the next one was a tie game, and a pretty important kick when he had to go back out there, and for him to respond, eliminate any thoughts that might be in your head and move forward, and then make another one and make the three that were important in the score, being what it was. Even the one with the angle, you can overthink that too, and at the end of the game to make it a 9-point game. That's an important kick and an important time. And, it's not just him too. It's everyone else working in unison with the snap and the hold. Thought he responded well. There's nothing you can do about it when you do miss that one. Yeah, we want those points. But I thought his response was really good.
Let's go to Emily Grace.
Coach, the connection between Ty and the wide receiver room seems to be really strong. What is that dynamic like from your perspective at practice and off the field?
Yeah, I think they feel it. They feel what they're capable of, and so they continue to, I think, do a better job of understanding what the calls are, what Coach Grubb's looking for, what the staff's looking for, why we're running these plays, what the problems are that we can pose for the opponent when we execute, and then it's being at the right place at the right time, and then the ball placement will be there, and that leads to yards after catch, and so they're feeling that, and they know we'll go to them when they execute. So work on practice, talk it through, make sure if there's something that didn't feel right in practice or in the game or something different than what the look is that we did see throughout the week, they're all over it. They're proactive. And, I think that's what great teams do. And, that unit working together, it's been fun seeing their growth.
Let's go to Jamie.
Hey, Coach, coming off momentum from back-to-back emotional wins over Georgia and Vandy, how do you guard against the trap game mentality this week, and what reminders do you lean on to keep your guys sharp and focused?
Yeah. I mean, they're 5-0. They're a ranked team, and so, I think the whole thing isn't like it's not a surprise that we're facing this team that that's going to be at a high level on the road, and so it's taken all of our experiences that we've been through and applying it, knowing that going on the road is hard in the SEC, knowing that any game in the SEC is hard, and then taking our lessons learned or experiences, what I like to refer to them, and just understanding how we've become successful and how we've had improvement here. It just goes back to shutting up and doing the work, showing up and doing the work, doing those things each and every day that lead to a feeling of confidence that allows you to go out on the field on Saturdays and be successful and be the best version of yourselves. And, you've heard it from us. I mean, there's so many things that we fell short on that, really foundationally go back to the preparation or lack of that we didn't have, and it might just be one play. It might be one person in that one play. So it's not the whole unit or a whole mindset where guys are overlooking. It's just one guy's got to do his job better, and all of a sudden, that's going to eliminate an explosive run. And so, one guy doing a better job in pass protection, and all of a sudden now we're converting a third down where a guy was wide open that we could have, had an explosive play and maybe even a touchdown on in the first quarter. So just got to keep the pedal down. That's what our guys have done a great job of. They haven't listened to what's outside. You can't help but know that it's out there or hear it even a little bit. Whether it was the negative talk or the pats on the back, it means nothing. Our guys got to keep moving forward. They got a long ways. I mean, I think we can see what the ceiling is, and it's much higher than what we performed even on Saturday. And that's what they got to be excited about, that they haven't reached that. And that's what's got to be the challenge moving forward.
Let's finish up with Joe in the back left.
Coach, what have you seen from William Sanders over the last couple of weeks to let him earn some playing time at left guard? And when you have Wilkin at right guard and William and Kevin Riley in the backfield, you've got three players from right here in the area on the offense. What does that mean to you, and maybe do they add anything being local?
Yeah, I think from a local standpoint, that's pretty cool that those guys are contributing at the level they are and continue to get better. Because that's certainly the case with all of them. They are continuing to get better, and that leads to, just Sanders and what he's been doing and why he's getting his opportunity. He didn't go like, woe is me, when he wasn't getting those reps early in the season. He just continued to grind. He continued to show up. And just like our team and what I'm asking of them, he's done that, taking it personally. And the guys that do that, they're going to keep getting better. You're in this program for a reason. We're counting on you. We're counting on you to get better. We're counting on you to help make our team what it can be. And he's done that. And so that's why he's, gained a few reps in games that you've seen here over the last couple of weeks.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep, thank you.
That was head coach Kalen DeBoer doing his weekly press conference down in Tuscaloosa as Alabama prepares for their matchup against Missouri up in Como at 11 a.m. on Saturday. Our reaction, what we heard from Kalen DeBoer, and more college football talk as we continue on Reaction Monday right here on Three Man Front.
It is 12:19. Welcome back in. This is Three Man Front on Jocks. Pat, Landrum, Molly, Conrad with you until 2 o'clock. We just heard from Kalen DeBoer. Hugh Freeze coming up at 1:30. Both of the things that you just heard Kalen DeBoer talk about, it's pretty interesting. He was asked about the notion Landrum of Missouri being a trap game, and Kalen DeBoer had a great answer. 5-0. They're a ranked team.
Yeah.
How could that be a trap game?
No. I don't.
Because in the Nick Saban days, if you played somebody ranked 8, it was a trap game because you're Alabama. It's a little different now.
Well, to be fair, it's Missouri, and under Eli, they just kind of keep on doing it.
Yeah, and I think some people are, oh, well, they haven't played anybody, and this will be their toughest
Something to be
test.
said for that, yeah.
Certainly, but they're a good team.
They're a good team.
Well, speaking of Como, the SEC announced just moments ago that on October the 18th, which if you look at your calendars, it's the third Saturday in October, The Alabama-Tennessee game has been slated for a prime time,
there we go,
6:30 kickoff on ABC.
All right.
Meanwhile, the Missouri Tigers visiting the loveliest village on the plains. That, too, will be a night kickoff from Jordan-Hare Stadium. That will either be a 6 o'clock kickoff on ESPN or a 6:45 kickoff on the SEC network. But it will be a night game between Auburn and Missouri on October 18th, and Conrad will get to sing Dixieland Delight against the Tennessee Vols.
That's a special time for him.
Yes, it is. Always is.
He'll break out the different shoes that have laces that are closed-toed for that one. He's only going to do it one Saturday a year.
Is that what he'll do?
With that Tennessee game, yeah, he likes to cover up those toes, which is always a good idea.
Yeah.
And we support. That's another bonus about it getting colder. We don't have to see Conrad's feet. 800-239-WJOX, 205-834-9450. A lot of reaction to the Alabama win. Also a lot of reaction to James Franklin and his comments after Penn State goes out to L.A. and throws up all over themselves, losing to a hopeless, hapless UCLA team, already with an interim coach. And what does UCLA do? They make a lot of people in the college football world happy.
Well, Conrad brought it up. So Rick Neuheisel's son, who played at UCLA, just like Rick played, his dad played at UCLA, and of course Rick later coached UCLA. He was the offensive play caller, and he had never used the headset before to call in the plays to the quarterback. And he said there were times during the game that he was actually telling Nico what to do, but he wasn't actually pressing on the button to tell Nico what to do. But Nico Iamaleava, he ran for 128 yards, 3 touchdowns against Penn State and Jim Knowles.
But James,
again, real quick, for those that just tuned in, I kind of went off on this.
Yeah.
But this is what James Franklin had to say. Listen to the reporter's question and his answer.
James, why don't you think, or why do you think or don't think your team was ready, mentally focused after the loss last week? Because the first half obviously was a complete disaster.
Obviously, we did not handle. We also lost some players in that game during the week, and then everything else did not come out with the right energy to start the game, and they get a touchdown drive and an onside kick, and now you're fighting. They gain confidence, and we're fighting for the next 3 quarters. So, and I didn't get it done.
Let's not forget it was a blue out at the Rose Bowl. Because you know what they say about a blue out at the Rose Bowl.
Nobody wins if it's blued out.
Yeah. 74 fans there in attendance watching that game.
Oh, that's a generous estimate.
I'm going to go and I'm going to find the exact attendance.
So the extra 1.5 hours that you spent on a plane as opposed to going to one of the original Big Ten schools that you used to travel to play, that was the difference with your guys.
It messed them up. And it wasn't even an 11 a.m. kick. So then you have it's really 9 a.m. or 12 o'clock based on what we're, or whatever, 8 o'clock based on what we're used to in Happy Valley. But, yeah, no. Can't use that excuse. It was a midday game.
No.
So I realized that
they did know that they were going to have to change time zones, Pat, prior to the start of the season. So you implement things to get those body clocks ready to go. Most coaches do.
What a joke. Do you want to know what they announced? This is a 100,000 seat venue.
And this is what UCLA announced the attendance was.
This is what they announced.
23,000.
I'll go a little higher because of Penn State coming to town. 31,873.
Oh, you saw it. 39,256.
Still not good.
Did you see the viral clips of the security trying to stop the 4 or 5 people, UCLA fans?
Oh, they were trying to storm the field afterwards?
Oh, bless them. Just let them get out there.
No, the security guards was about like the Arch Manning defenses down in Louisiana in
They're
that
just like,
small
oh no,
school,
don't do
yeah.
it, but have fun.
You check their pockets, make sure they don't have a weapon, and let them go have fun.
Yeah, that was.
So speaking of Penn State, and I realize that I've got way too much time on my hands when I spend a lot of time looking at James Franklin's contract. And
just James Franklin.
Yeah. But I was also went down a rabbit hole about Penn State athletics. Outside of football, would you like to take a guess at what the most profitable sport they have on that campus?
Besides football?
Yeah, football's number one. Obviously, the biggest generator of revenue at that school is football.
So it's not. You're making me think it's not basketball.
It is not basketball. I'll give you that hint.
Volleyball.
Man, I would go men's or women's volleyball, but I'll go softball.
You go softball? You go volleyball, Molly? All right. You said volleyball. You go
Yeah,
what?
volleyball.
I said softball.
Softball? Men's ice hockey.
That's a.
That is a fact.
I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't have guessed that UCLA had a men's hockey team.
Or a hockey team, men or women.
Yeah, just any hockey.
Or co-ed.
Men's hockey is the number 2 revenue-producing sport in regards to actual, being in the green.
So
or in the
basketball
black, so to
is
speak.
basketball profitable for them? I guess not.
Men's basketball, I think, is, but no. For dollar,
that's crazy.
Yes, dollar for dollar, men's ice hockey at Penn State is second behind football.
Wow.
Yep.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, it says here it's a non-varsity, non-NCAA college ice hockey program.
Are you looking at UCLA or Penn State?
Oh, sorry.
I just looked over. I saw your monitor and saw
That's
UCLA.
wild.
That would make sense.
Well, I hope those boosters are ready to throw
And I
in
was
some
also-
pennies towards James Franklin.
I thought you were talking about UCLA.
Yeah, I thought
That's
you were
why
talking
I
about
threw
UCLA too. That's why I said hockey. I
that's
was
why I
like,
said
oh my
softball.
gosh, yeah.
No, Penn State.
Okay. That makes more sense that it's hockey over. But still,
Well, I changed my answer to men's hockey.
Good answer. You nailed that one. Congratulations.
But still, how many? I would say maybe Minnesota's probably in that same. But like, how many schools out there could you point to hockey as your moneymaker?
A lot of those Rust Belt schools.
Yeah.
I mean,
Boston's got a really good.
I was about to say Boston
you got
College.
Boston
Notre
University.
Dame, I
The
think.
Terriers are really good at hockey. All the North Dakota schools
Oh,
are
yeah.
outstanding
Yeah,
in hockey. But I also read that overall they spend, think about this. If you're going to pay off James Franklin to never coach again at Penn State, it's going to cost you $56 million. Last year, once again, way too much time on my hands. Last year, the entire athletic department's salaries, coaches' salaries at Penn State University was $47 million.
And it's going to be $9 million more than that.
$9 million more to tell someone not to coach again for your school. You pay $47 million a year for every single coach, every single assistant coach, everybody affiliated with every sponsored sport at Penn State University.
And his contract is structured where if he chooses to leave,
$2 million before December 1st.
Right.
If it's after December 1st, it's $1 million.
but if they choose to get rid of him, then they are over a barrel.
It's $56 million. Then the season ends, it drops to $48 million. It will be the second highest buyout in the history of college football.
By the way, Penn State, 5th in the USA Hockey Men's College Poll.
Oh, well, that's good. It's almost hockey season,
Western
right?
Michigan is the team to beat, followed by Boston, Michigan State, and Denver.
Okay. Keep an eye on that this winter.
Trying to find the most southern team that's ranked, and I would have to break out a map.
Is Boston University up there?
Yeah, they're number 2.
Oh, there you go.
Boston College is 6, Minnesota 7, Maine, Providence, UConn, and North Dakota tied at 10. Then Michigan, Quinnipiac, Arizona State.
Quinnipiac.
How about Arizona State? Most southern team, I guess.
Really? They're out there highly ranked in Hockey? That's
yeah,
impressive.
They got professional hockey.
Hey, maybe
Did
when
they freeze the lazy river? Let them skate on it?
That's how they practice.
Hey, maybe when you're up for the Yukon UAB game,
Mhm.
maybe you can catch a Yukon hockey game.
Oh, that would be big.
Yeah, it'd be huge.
Yeah. Never been to Connecticut.
Is the UAB football game, is that in Stores or is that in Hartford?
I want to say Hartford, but let me double check.
I mean, I know you get on a plane, you're not in charge of like where you're going, but
No, I am curious, how far are the two apart?
the campus at Yukon and Hartford is not like right down the street.
Okay, well, the game is at Pratt and Whitney Stadium.
I do not think that's in downtown.
That's East Hartford, Connecticut.
No, it is. Okay. There you go.
It says, yeah.
You're going to love
Pratt
Hartford.
and Whitney Stadium at Rensselaer Field.
You're going to love Hartford.
Pat forgets we are on TV.
Oh, yeah. I did forget about that.
With his eyes.
Sorry. Spent a few times there in the old Hartford Airport on my way to Bristol, Connecticut.
What's there fun to do in Hartford?
Leave.
Okay.
Now there's actually a decent Italian restaurant in Bristol. That's about the only.
Oh, the skyline
That's
looks
nice.
The skyline looks really pretty.
Actually, downtown Hartford, honestly, not a bad place.
Okay.
Not a bad place. Bristol, Connecticut, another story.
I have no idea if we're staying in Hartford. We could be in a whole nother state.
Well,
Go ahead and make a reservation at that nice Italian restaurant.
you might be.
It's going to fill up soon.
You might be staying in Springfield, Massachusetts.
That'd be fun.
That's right across the line. Matter of fact, Springfield and Hartford, they share an airport because the Hartford airport's actually almost in Massachusetts.
I've never been to Massachusetts, never been to Connecticut.
Well, there you
So
go. You could,
if I could knock out both states
you could click both off.
in one quick trip,
Yep.
You can go stand on the line, be in both states at once.
well, that's what I did with Iowa when I was in
Went across the river.
Check the
Yep.
box.
There you go.
Don't ever go back.
But you've been once.
But I've been once.
That's what I did in D.C. I did that. Yeah, D.C. and then
Yeah.
Maryland,
Knock them
Virginia.
all out.
Yeah. Yep. Good times. All right. That's it for your geography lesson today on Three Man Front. We talk football when we come up next on Reaction Monday. It's 12:37. Coach Bill Clark will join the show coming up at the top of the hour. You know, APS is Alabama's leading pest and lawn specialist. For more than 4 decades, Alabama Professional Services, termite protection, lawn care, fertilization, and more. These certified statewide teams at APS Experts, they're friendly, efficient, reliable. Call them today at 205-951-9717. Whether you're looking to safeguard your home from pests or keep your lawn healthy and green, APS can deliver proven solutions backed by dependable customer service. APS proudly serves homeowners and businesses across Alabama, including Birmingham, Montgomery, Huntsville, and surrounding communities. So call them today to request your free, no obligations estimate. That's 205-951-9717, or go to their website, alabamaprofessional.com.
Text line is open, 205-834-9450. Tom texted into the show. Thank you, Tom. And he says, Alabama's going to the playoffs. We keep playing the way we are. Auburn might upset Georgia with it being at home. Vegas thinks they can get even money on both sides with a 3.5-point line right now, Georgia being the favorite. Stephen reminds us that University of Alabama in Huntsville has a good hockey program. Thank you, Stephen. Yes, they do. Stephen is from Lexington, and he's a big UK fan. I wonder if he was thrilled with Mark Stoops coming out saying that there's no truth to the report that he was negotiating a buyout with the university or a parting of ways. I'm sure we'll get a response from Stephen. Posey said he would have thought wrestling when it came to Penn State.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That would be a very good guess.
But again, that's just kind of goes to show how those other programs, I mean, you're good at wrestling, but I don't think wrestling's a big money sport for any school, really.
Someone asking, are there any reports of the injured Oklahoma player that hit the wall?
Yeah, that was a nasty scene, him hitting that brick wall on the back of the end zone.
Yeah, it was awful.
I have not seen an update.
Let's move that back a few feet. Put something in front of it that's not brick.
We heard Kalen DeBoer. We hear from him in his weekly press conference every week here on the show. Tate says, I don't know about you guys, but that press conference felt different. Usually I don't expect to glean anything from them because it's coach speak. A lot of that is true. But he says this one felt like old times when Saban would talk to the team through the media. It was authoritative and it was direct. I think he's feeling good about this team.
If anyone saw the wide shot, I think someone posted on social media of right after the game when Diego Pavia, it's become customary, whether it's professional football or college, where the two signal callers from the opposing teams, they will find each other after the game and just do a dab and say, hey, you know, good game or whatever the case may be. And a wide shot from someone in the crowd showed Diego Pavia was coming up to Ty Simpson, you know, just to congratulate him or say, hey, good game, whatever the case may be. And I think it was James Smith and some of the other defensive linemen had immediately made a beeline over there to tell Diego Pavia exactly what they thought of him. And then some Alabama staffers had to get in between the Alabama guys that was not named Ty Simpson and Diego Pavia to send them off the field in the locker room.
At least during Ty Simpson's stand-up, it was almost like some of the Vanderbilt players had come over because they weren't going to get a chance to tell him good game, and they were telling him good game.
Well, it was just funny because
why would you do that if you were his teammate?
Yeah, it was just funny because there's a clip of, I think it was Jeremy Bernard running off the field, and he said something like, you know, glory to God, you know, what a great win, blah, blah. And then you had James Smith that came over and said, Diego Pavia is a, it's just a little bit of a different different style.
Yeah,
for
but I
some of the
definitely noticed
players on
James Smith
Saturday.
was like the first one that was seeking Diego Pavia.
He was going to let him know that trash talk was not appreciated.
And something that we brought up earlier in the show about some of the tweets about Jaden Roberts, and Jaden Roberts' mom had quote tweeted and tweeted back at someone on social media. Well, this morning, Ryan Grubb was asked about Jaden Roberts, and Ryan Grubb said, still working his way back on the field. You know, last week I thought it was a big step for him. He's progressing nicely, practice and things like that. So really expect him to be able to make a contribution this week, end of quote. That's from Ryan Grubb.
Good. Well, and I know that Kalen DeBoer got asked about that situation as well, and he essentially said he plays at a very competitive position, but I think he's, coming along nicely. So what you would expect.
Going back to travel, woe is me. This listener texts in, West Virginia played BYU Friday night. The game ended about 1 a.m. Central. I heard the equipment manager say he drove a truck from West Virginia to Utah, almost all across the country, and what a long trip it was. These trips are ridiculous.
What about the fact that you had Duke playing California, which kicked off at 9:30 Birmingham time, which would have been 10:30 on the campus of Duke University, and they beat Cal in Berkeley, which the game probably ended at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, East Coast time?
Didn't seem to be a problem there.
Yeah, I know everybody's thinking about the distance, but have you ever thought about the times in which we travel? So we're going to Boca Raton this weekend with UAB, taking on Florida Atlantic. It's a 5 o'clock start. Let's just guesstimate. We wrap up from the stadium at 9 o'clock Central Time. Then you're in buses. You're en route to airport. You have check-in on tarmac, and they expedite the process because you're on a chartered flight. You get on flight. You go through all your checks, make sure everything's ready to go. There's a good chance wheels are not up from Boca until 11 o'clock Central Standard Time, and then you have the travel. It's not ideal for what I'm saying. Most of these programs, it's not ideal when you travel or the duration. It affects everyone.
No, it's not a great excuse. And look, I know we cover college football, and maybe there are great examples out there that we just don't see. But, I mean, we talk about this in football season. This affects – imagine being a tennis player, right? And you're still having to go through all of these same things that a football player is, but you're not making $500,000 to be a starting offensive lineman, right? You're on the tennis team. You're happy to be getting a scholarship and maybe a little bit on the side, but it's all these programs that are going through this stuff, and you don't hear – I just feel like you don't hear as much complaining outside of football.
Well, if at least make mention of it in the loss the previous week when Oregon, as Pat mentioned, flies across the country and whips your tail in your own stadium for a built-up whiteout game. At least go, you know what, and give Dan Lanning and Oregon a lot of credit because I don't know how they did it with the travel that they had this week. It's just kind of lazy.
It is, and we gave countless examples. Washington flew across the country to College Park, Maryland, fell behind 17 points. Then they beat Maryland. Duke flies to California, plays a late night game Saturday night in the ACC. They win. Didn't affect them.
I would understand it if they came and they said, hey, by the way, for winning this game, you've now advanced to whatever, and you're going to have to fly another 3,000 miles on Monday.
It's just a lazy excuse. That's all it is. And that's the last thing in the world. Do you think people in the great state of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania want to hear from that clown?
Nope. Because their heads aren't in the sand either. They're having these same conversation on Penn State message boards in the offseason. They realize what their coach has and has not done. But somebody decided to reward him with a very lucrative contract.
Mm-hmm.
And a really tough buyout if they choose to move on, which I'm sure they're not. After Nico knocking off Penn State, I wonder if Tennessee regrets losing him. Looked like a championship quarterback to me. I'll answer for the Tennessee fans, no.
No, I think they're fine. Their quarterback's pretty good, too. I know this might be a hot take because of what Nico just did. I still think Tennessee's better off right now. They're a better team right now than they would be if Nico was still there.
No, I don't think that's a hot take. I'll agree with you. I think a lot of people would agree with you.
Yeah.
Nico had one great game. He had a fantastic game. Not taking anything away from him, but
do you think Nico's able to do what Joey Aguilar did against Georgia in the first half of that one?
Did you like where after the game you had Nico saying, if you don't want to be here, then leave? I thought that was kind of ironic that he was sharing that message with his own teammates.
Yeah.
After
did you mention
his offseason?
You did mention, I guess, the broadcasting assignments for Como.
Yes, Joe Tessitore.
No. Alabama fans are not crazy about that. A lot of different text.
Well, people weren't happy about Greg on the broadcast on Saturday. You can't win with a lot of people.
I thought Greg was great.
He was tremendous.
But yeah, when I went back and watched it, I thought he did a great job. Him and Sean both.
I noticed that he had to go above and beyond in clarifying some of his comments just to make sure that people took it in the spirit that it was intended.
Yeah. Well, as the weather turns, now's the time to get your mowers and tractors serviced at the end of the season, and Artec Tractor is the place to do it. They're your certified Mahindra servicing dealer, and just in time for hunting season, their hunter's package includes a Mahindra 1635 with loader, trailer, and spreader, all for $0 down and just $450 per month. Artec has also a full line of tractors as well as heavy equipment for those big jobs just north of Jasper on Highway 5 or online at artectractor.com.
We are at Clark, his weekly visit. We'll recap the college football weekend and preview what's coming up this week. Three-man front on the Monday edition, Jocks.
Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll talk to Bill Clark, former UAB head coach. He will join the show. We'll get his thoughts on the weekend that was in college football.
Well, we've been talking about Alabama and that schedule, one to say the least, but you could be in person for at least one of those upcoming games, and that would be Alabama versus South up there in Columbia coming up at the end of the month. And how can you do that? Well, thanks to your friends right here at Jocks as well as Total Sports Travel, we're giving you the chance to go see Alabama and South Carolina battle it out up in Columbia. One lucky winner is going to score a trip for two with round-trip airfare, a 2-night stay at the Ryder Hotel in Charleston, 2 tickets to Saturday's game between Alabama, South Carolina, and transportation to and from the stadium. All you have to do to enter to win this great package is text in the keyword TIDE, TIDE to 205-834-9450. Again, text in the keyword TIDE, like Crimson Tide, TIDE, to 205-834-9450. Don't miss your shot at the ultimate game day experience, courtesy of our friends at Total Sports Travel and your home for all things college football. Jocks.
So the brand new Athletic, they have posted their college football playoff projections. And as I'm sitting here looking, the top 4 seeds, this is kind of new. They've got Ohio State 1, Miami 2, Oregon 3, Oklahoma 4. First time I've seen Oklahoma listed as one of the top 4 seeds in the college football playoff.
Me too.
Coming in at 5, this would be a 5-12 matchup, would be Ole Miss taking on Memphis.
Oh, that'd be fun for Brett, wouldn't it?
That really would be.
That'd just be fun.
Coming up is the 6-11 game would be Texas A&M and Georgia.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
SEC crime there.
I'd like to see that.
Next up, 7 versus 10. That would be Texas Tech versus LSU.
Okay, we're still putting them in there. Okay.
Yeah. And then the final matchup, 8 versus 9. Kirk Cignetti's Indiana Hoosiers at number 8 would play the Alabama Crimson Tide in Bloomington.
Indiana would be the 8 seed?
Yep.
Oh.
Bama would be the 9 seed. So Indiana versus Bama.
Yes.
In Bloomington.
Sign me up for that.
Yep. Get us credentials for that one. I want to go to that one.
The winner
That'd
of
be fun.
Indiana, Alabama would play Ohio State.
Of course.
And then Ole Miss, Memphis winner would play Oklahoma. Texas Tech, LSU would play the winner of, or would play Miami. And then Texas A&M, Georgia winner would play Oregon.
Okay. I feel like right now that's a pretty solid. I don't know if I'd have LSU in there still, but I mean, you're kind of picking and choosing right now.
Hey, while we're talking about rankings, and right now the AP and the coaches, they don't mean anything. Miami continues to look the way they've looked, even with the schedule they have left. They're playing their schedule. You have them number 1?
Yes.
I do too.
If they go undefeated, and I mean, their schedule, I mean, better now. USF is still winning. Notre Dame looks better. Yeah, they got a pretty good resume, even if they can't to the way.
I'm trying to see, does Ohio State have another game that will impress you?
I'll beat Michigan. That'd be a good place to start.
You're going to get a whole lot of credit for beating a Penn State team at that point?
Not anymore.
At home?